Hi, everyone. Our subject today is really politics, and it's a world concern. It's about Palestine, or as known historically, Philistine, even biblically. Now, the confrontations across Israel Palestine territories are well on the way to becoming one of the one of the world's worst spasm of violence there in recent memory. And it is likely someday to initiate and ignite the expected Third World War of what they called Armageddon, symbolizing it as the cause of ultimate human oppressive aggression on Earth. The story goes back in recent history to 1916 Sykes-Picot Agreement, followed by 1917's Balfour Declaration, permitting to establish the State of Israel and ejecting Arabs, Palestinians from their homes and lands. Even much before that, according to ancient history, when the Jews fled from Babylon, expelled by Cyrus, the emperor of Persia, to huddle up or settle down in the greater then Palestine, meaning Bilad Asham or Greater Syria, which was known later as the Middle East. The Jews, of course, not all of them believe that Palestine is their promised land allocated to them by God in their Bible, which is simply not true. One of the reasons is that the claim is denied and rejected by many religious groups and factions of Orthodox Jews, refusing squarely any Jewish state, convinced that this is the true biblical story. They are those who know, and this is how they understood the Bible. Now, before World War One and World War Two, the Jews were persecuted in the whole European continent, and Balfour Declaration was tailored to get rid of them and clean Europe from their unwelcome presence. Best examples: the Spanish Inquisition and the Nazi Holocaust, after which the Jews as communities knew their best times in Arab countries, particularly Morocco. After Balfour, they succeeded to have their own state of Israel in 1948, with the price of robbing homes and lands and human rights of the Palestinians. Later on, few wars started in the name of the Palestinian cause to redeem its status and give back to Palestinians their property. Those wars failed objective thanks to loving Western world that hated and persecuted the Jews for some long time, but woke up to the fact and their unjust stand to support Israel because some of them see that they share the same Bible and their faith is Judeo Christianity, as it is constituted in some of their constitutions, namely the United States of America. And they found, the Westerners, of course, particularly the USA, that their enemy should be Islam and Muslims. This is why you don't see any Muslim land worldwide, but in deep turmoil and trouble, caused definitely by these Westerners, making it their profitable business, selling arms and exploiting resources. Ironically, the United Nations is a helpless entity and a phony arbitrator because it's overtaken and overridden by the self proclaimed world police that is the United States of America, of course, which, by the way, vetoed more than 100 resolutions in favor of the Palestinians presented by various countries, and yet the USA claimed that it seeks peace for the Jews and Palestinians. How? Arming and compensating with or without, or with and without reason, arming and compensating the Israelis and sanctioning in every possible means the Palestinians and imposing arms embargo on them and tolerating all Israeli aggressions, particularly allowing settlers who are militant armed Israelis to evict more Palestinians from their homes and lands to build settlement for Israelis' families by force. Attempts to implement a fair solution for both failed and will continue to fail because it's made to measure, favoring Israelis and even planned by Israelis. The world is watching most enduring hostilities with the Israelis' occupation of the so-called State of Palestine, which is portion of the West Bank and portion of Gaza Strip, geographically split and separated, and the wise and merciful, charitable, evangelical United States of America wants the Palestinians to accept it as a substitute to the whole of Palestine. Not to forget that the West constituted directly and purposefully in letting or allowing, rather aiding, Israel to become nuclear power. Why? Dominance. Now, a question. Any foreseen solution? Anytime? Can anyone tell? Well, the answer is going to be controversial, of course, as the cause is. But sometimes I wonder, isn't it that Israel was brought to exist by certain influence, mysterious power that is, with the controversial state of the Lebanon in the Middle East region for a theological, superstitious reason to bring about the era of so-called Dajjal or Antichrist. Thank you.